In 1958, the game Tennis for Two was created. It's thought to be the world's very first video game and consisted of very few on-screen sprite elements. The aim of the game was to hit your ball over the net, much like in real tennis. You could also adjust your shots with the knobs on the controller. For its time, this was revolutionary and very impressive, but by today's standards of video games, it's one of the simplest. As time progresses, video game developers have pushed the boundaries time and time again on how innovative and complicated they can make their game. But how necessary is this? Does every game really need to have hours upon hours of time put into learning the basics? Or do simple and more basic games have a place in modern gaming? Sockpop are a group of developers who create a brand new game every month. Obviously, these games aren't going to be as big as Skyrim or GTA, but they explore a ton of different genres and types of games and do something new and different every time. These games are really great to talk about and reference when it comes to simpler games, so they will be my examples. One of my favourite Sockpop games is called Pyramida, where you have to create a small society and grow a population to build an ancient pyramid monument. A simple enough game, but the challenge comes in micromanaging everything in the village from food levels to skeleton threats. The great thing about it is how you can pick it up and drop it at any time. You don't need to dedicate your time and effort to get good at it and then maintain your skill by playing it consistently. This is something that is seen in most Sockpop games. The art style in Sockpop games are very simple and easy on the eyes, while the gameplay is simple and easy on the brain. So, the main reason for all this being so good comes down to how accessible they are to people that can't spend hours each day gaming. Many people can only find time to play for a few hours per week between work, social commitments, taking care of families, and so on, which means games that take hours upon hours to see any rewards for your time will actually take weeks for some people. And some games that are more competitive put these same people at a disadvantage because they don't have the time to build up the skill level to compete. On top of all this, there are tons of people that just don't want to play more competitive games or difficult games that require a lot of time to learn. These kinds of simple and laid-back games are for those people who might just want to unwind or immerse themselves in the game world but don't have the time to understand or get used to more complex mechanics. Take a look at World of Warcraft for example. There's so much happening on the screen at once, it's virtually impossible to just pick up the game and understand it within a reasonable amount of time. Or how about League of Legends? Albeit easier on the eyes, the community isn't very friendly towards less skilled players. These are just two of dozens of popular games that aren't as accessible to a large portion of gamers. To be clear, competitive or complex games aren't inherently bad, of course. There are many spheres to gaming, and there will always be a want for games that take a lot of time to understand or master. It's actually a very positive thing that there's a lot of variety between experiences in games. To wrap it up, more simple games have a load of unique qualities to them which especially help people that have less free time get into gaming. Their simpler visuals and core gameplay give a much more relaxed experience that doesn't need too much commitment and time poured into learning everything. They're great for people that are getting into games and for people that have much busier schedules, while also being strong enough to stand on their own in the gaming world.